TiE, the Indus Entrepreneurs, was born in 1992 when visionary Indian origin entrepreneurs in Silicon Valley united to share knowledge and support. By 1994, it evolved into a global organization, blending Silicon Valley's innovative spirit with India's rich Guru Shishya tradition. TiE Kerala was established in 2003 with 10 charter members and a mission to build an entrepreneur in every home. From the very beginning, the chapter has championed the entrepreneurial spirit through transformative initiatives inspired by the visionary guidance of management guru, the late Dr. C.K. Prahalad. His invaluable contribution, the House of TiE, serves as a guiding treasure for the organization. Rooted in the 5 pillars of mentoring, education, networking, incubation, and funding, TiE Kerala continues to empower entrepreneurs across the state. TiE Kerala conducts a wide range of activities, including workshops, mentoring sessions, Coffee Pe Charcha, My Story, Leader Connect, master classes, and networking mixers. Its special interest groups focus on diverse sectors like IT, agriculture, manufacturing, healthcare, tourism, financial and legal services, and women entrepreneurship. Charter member retreats are a hallmark of TiE Kerala, fostering deep bonds and camaraderie among members and their families. With over 45 retreats, including 2 All India gatherings, these connections form the backbone of the chapter's thriving community. TiE Kerala's newest initiative targets 5 critical sectors: agriculture, education, health and wellness, assisted living, and research and development to drive Kerala's sustainable growth. In recognition of its impact, TiE Kerala earned the prestigious A category status from TiE Global, highlighting its leadership within the network. The Kerala Angel Network, CAN, launched in 2016 as TiE Kerala's funding arm, stands as a cornerstone of the chapter's entrepreneurial ecosystem. By nurturing and investing in high-potential startups, CAN plays a pivotal role in driving exponential growth and fostering innovation in Kerala. The TiE Young Entrepreneur (TYE) program, which has been part of TiE Kerala since 2017, nurtures entrepreneurial skills among school students. By 2024, TYE expanded to impact over 5,000 students across government and private schools, earning global accolades, including multiple top positions in competitions. The TiE University Program, a TiE global initiative for igniting the entrepreneurial spirit in college students, guiding them from ideation to investment and turning their campus ideas into thriving businesses, has impacted over 600 students in the state of Kerala. For women entrepreneurs, initiatives like the TiE Women Global Pitch Competition that empowers women entrepreneurs through mentoring, networking, and funding opportunities. Focused on overcoming challenges faced by women in business, it helps them scale their venture and drive impact. These programs supported hundreds of women entrepreneurs, reaffirming TiE Kerala's commitment to inclusive growth. TiEcon Kerala is the flagship event of TiE Kerala, established in 2012 and has since become a premier platform for entrepreneurs, startups, and investors. With its impactful sessions, industry-leading speakers, and unparalleled networking opportunities, TiEcon Kerala has inspired over 50,000 entrepreneurs and startups to date. A key feature of TiEcon is the prestigious TiE Kerala Awards, instituted in 2013 to honor outstanding entrepreneurs and ecosystem enablers, driving Kerala's entrepreneurial growth. Another highlight is Capital Cafe, a dynamic platform where startups connect with mentors and investors. Through expert guidance and live pitch sessions, this initiative accelerates startups toward funding and growth, embodying TiE Kerala's commitment to fostering innovation. TiEcon Kerala, along with its flagship programs like TiE Kerala Awards and Capital Cafe, continues to drive Kerala's entrepreneurial journey forward, creating ripples of transformation across industries. Partnerships with organizations like KSIDC, NASSCOM, Kerala Startup Mission, and Kerala Agriculture University have enabled impactful programs such as the Young Entrepreneur Summit and roadmaps for state-level entrepreneurship development. Globally recognized for its excellence, TiE Kerala was awarded Global Best Chapter in 2018, Best Angel Program in 2021, and Best Support to Women Entrepreneurs in 2022. In 2023 to 2024, TiE Kerala achieved new milestones. Team V-Sign secured the global runner-up position at the TYE competition, while Team Cultivaco won the India Startup Showcase. With an unwavering commitment to create an entrepreneur in every home, TiE Kerala continues to drive innovation, build communities, and transform lives across the state.
That was a recap of TiE Kerala's journey, and now the water flows. To begin on an auspicious note, I invite Divya Thalakkalat for the invocation.
Bhumoskhalitapādanām bhumireva valam vanam tvajata paradhanām tvameva sharanam shive शिवशक्त्या युक्तो यति भवति शक्तः प्रभवितुं न चेदेवं देवो न खलु कुशल स्पन्दितुमपि अधस्त्वाम् आराध्या हरिहरविरिञ्जादिभिरपि प्रणम्तुं स्तोतुं वा कथमकृत पुण्यः प्रभवति.
Thank you, Divya. To give the red carpet welcome, I invite Vivek Krishna Govind, Chairman TiEcon Kerala 2024 and Vice President of TiE Kerala. Vivek has over 26 years of experience and is the senior partner of Varma and Varma Chartered Accountants. Over to Vivek.
Thank you, Nisha. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. President of TiE Kerala, Jacob Joy. Chief guest, William Dalrymple. President of TiE Rajasthan, Dr. Sheenu Jhawar. Founding President of TiE Kerala, C. Balagopal. Executive Director of TiE Global, Vijay Menon. Associate Director of TiE Kerala, Divya, Thalakkalat, and most distinguished dignitaries of the stage. It gives me immense pleasure, pride to be here this morning to welcome all of you. The August gathering present here, many of our delegates are on their way, and we are expecting the hall to be full within the next 1 hour or so. And at the outset, let me thank all of you for registering in very large numbers. We had to actually close our registration last evening because of the overwhelming support from all of you. So that just goes to show the event, which is TiEcon Kerala. Now, TiEcon is the flagship event of TiEcon Kerala. The first edition was held in 2012 under the presidentship of Johnny Paul, whom we call as the father of TiEcon. And from there on year, we have been growing in size, we've been growing in scale, and the value which TiEcon has been imparting to the delegates, to the entrepreneurial community, to the investor community, has been immense, which is why so many of you who have registered this year are people who are coming for multiple events over the last several years. We have registrations from several states across South India, several registrations also from some of the West and North Indian states as well. Large number of investor community also who have signed up to come and join. Many of them would also be joining online because this is an event where there will be technical sessions happening in this hall. There are master classes happening in 2 of our other parallel session halls. There is a pitch fest which is happening. There is an exhibition which is happening right behind this hall. So please take a look when you're there. And in fact, we have conceived the whole event more as an entrepreneurial celebration, a carnival, a festival where we come together, we meet, we network, and we enjoy the entire ecosystem of Kerala's entrepreneurial startup MSME community of the state. More than 1,000 entrepreneurs have registered, signed up for the event, 60 plus speakers, More than 100 investors are all going to be here. So my request to all of you would be to kindly meet, spend time, network, and support each other and create meaningful relationships along the way. Moving on to my formal duty, this year we are extremely fortunate to have with us the most renowned historian and author, William Dalrymple, with us. He needs absolutely no introduction. So we have decided we will skip introductions because he really needs no introduction. So some of us here had the very wonderful opportunity spending some quality time with him last evening at another event. We spoke to him, and the way in which he spoke about his deep knowledge and about Indian culture is something, it's a real treat for all of us to sit back, listen to, thereafter read by several interesting books which he's written. His latest book about which he will speak to us. After the inaugural segment, we have a 45-minute session where William will take us through all the aspects and nuances of Indian culture. And so it would be certainly most memorable event for all of us. And we are deeply honored that you have accepted our invitation and kindly consented to be with us. Thank you very much, William. Warm welcome to you. It is our privilege to have with us Dr. Sheenu Jhawar, the TiE Rajasthan president, as our guest of honor. And more importantly, she was one of the candidates for the TiE Global Board of Trustees election, which was held last week. And, we were all waiting with great anticipation for the results. And she has been elected. And this is her first public meeting after being elected to the TiE Global BOT. So warm welcome to you and congratulations, Sheenu. The TiE Global Executive Director, Vijay Menon, is a pillar of strength for TiE. He sets the standards, he sets the protocols. He is the boss who drives the whole organization across several countries, across several chapters. And it's a rare honor for us that he has also joined us. Extremely busy schedule for him. As all of us know, TiE Global Summit is coming up just a week from now in Bangalore, where they're expecting more than 10,000 delegates. The who's who from all parts of the world are attending, and keynotes from the best of speakers and people from various arts, sports, including Andre Agassi, etc., are addressing. Deepak Chopra, they're all addressing the event. And in spite of being in the midst of that, he has found the time to come in this morning. He will attend, speak to us, and go back later this evening. Vijay, thank you very much for being with us this morning. Now I have the privilege of welcoming our own TiE Kerala leaders. Proud moment for us that our founding president, C. Balagopal, whom we very, very fondly call Balasan. Balasan is a guiding light for us. Every stage he tells us what we need to do, every event, especially if it is an event where there are students, where there are youngsters, where there are budding entrepreneurs, startup, whichever part of the state it is in, we call Balasan, and he will be the first to be there, and he will motivate them, inspire them, be there with them, visit their location sites, go to their companies, and bring them back to his overall mentorship umbrella. And so that's Balasan for you. He has recently been appointed as the chairman of KSIDC in a very, very important year when the Invest Kerala event is going to be hosted. It's a global investor meet in the month of February. And he will be the chairman of KSIDC during that event. In fact, there is a road show happening today in Mumbai where the Industries Minister, Rajiv and Mohammad Hanish, they are all there. And this morning, they have private meetings with Mukesh Ambani and Adani, etc. And the road show is happening. Balasan has joined today. After our event, he will also fly to Mumbai to join the road show. So Balasan, once again, on behalf of all of us, a warm welcome to you. Our President Jacob, again, it's not appropriate for me to welcome our own team, but Jacob has been not just the smiling chocolate boy he is, but he's also a very tough taskmaster and a great leader. Welcome to you, Jacob. Our secretariat team, very, very efficiently, effectively led by Divya, and a bunch of extremely hardworking youngsters. They have literally burned the midnight oil in every sense. If any of you had dropped in at the TiE Secretariat over the past 2 weeks, you would have seen the kind of energy, activity, not just the staff members, but a lot of interns whom they took. They've all really worked 24/7 to put together this grand show. This is the first time we moved from Meridian to Hyatt, and we did that at short notice, and we are doing it on a weekday, which is, Huddle last weekend and TGS next week. So it was, a lot of thought that, okay, is it an inappropriate time? But this was the only time when we could get the venue for 2 straight days. So despite all that challenge, they've gone all out, ensured that record participation in terms of registration, sponsorships, and speakers, etc. So all good work done by the team. Divya and team TiE Secretariat, great job. Can we have a really loud round of applause for them? They are the champions here. Finally, I warmly welcome all the eminent dignitaries present here, the speakers, investors, entrepreneurs, and all the other delegates who are here, students, and many of whom are on their way. I invite and welcome all of you. Very power-packed agenda over the next 2 days, as you've seen, 60 speakers, multiple parallel sessions, all of that. So kindly ensure that you participate in full strength and give it your best, share your knowledge and learn from the leaders, and let's all have a memorable TiEcon together. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Vivek. And now for the presidential address, I invite Jacob Joy, President TiE Kerala, founder of Jakobi Chocolatier. And on a sweeter note, he's an ultra long distance cyclist.
Thank you, Nisha, for that. Dignitaries on the dais and off the dais, fellow charter members, associate members, media, guests, invitees, students, entrepreneurs, aspiring entrepreneurs. It's an honor to be here, and it's a privilege to welcome you to TiEcon Kerala 2024. We are a gathering of dreamers, doers, and change makers. So let's make it count. This year we focus on Mission 2030, transforming Kerala. And we are reminded of the power that entrepreneurship actually brings not just to businesses, but a transformation that it brings to communities and in our lives. It also resonates in our deepest wisdom that we need to create a thriving entrepreneurship ecosystem in the state, and a vision that is rooted in innovation, collaboration, and inclusivity. TiE Kerala has been on a remarkable journey since 2003. Thanks to the vision of our founders, past presidents, dedicated members, our global team, our secretariat, we've built a thriving ecosystem that empowers entrepreneurs at every stage in their journey. Through initiatives which you've seen in our legacy video, like CAN, TiE Mentoring Institute, TiE University, TYE, TiE Women, and our latest project, Divya, we've touched lives that have sparked ideas and turned dreams into reality. This conference is a celebration of that journey and a stepping stone for what lies ahead. Over the next 2 days, we will explore opportunities, share stories, and spark collaboration. Together, we aim to position Kerala as a beacon of innovation and entrepreneurship. We have curated discussions, panels, and workshops that highlight the boundless opportunities in Kerala's evolving entrepreneurial ecosystem. And I hope all of you would be attending all of them. We're also proud to closely collaborate with the Government of Kerala, aligning our initiatives with the state's priority to foster innovation, encourage investments, and create a startup-friendly ecosystem. Together, we are building a future where Kerala is not just a participant in India's growth story, but a leader in it. Let's make the most of our time together. Let us learn, connect, inspire one another to dream bigger and aim higher. Kerala's transformation starts today, starts here with us. Thank you for being part of the journey, a journey that we need to make it extraordinary. Thank you so much for being here, and wishing you a great 2 days of great membership, meeting, and good times. Thank you.
Thank you, Jacob. As we move on to the inaugural procedure, I invite all dignitaries to come forward and light the lamp of Mission 2030, Transforming Kerala. First to light the lamp will be William Dalrymple. Thank you. We have with us today author and historian William Dalrymple. His books bring to life different worlds, from trade wings to Angkor Wat, from Afghan forts to Egyptian Coptic churches, from Persianized Englishmen to rough soldiery, the smell of the Delhi bazaar to the meadows of Central Asia. His latest work, The Golden Road, explores ancient trade routes and cultural exchanges along the Silk Road. The Silk Road. We invite you.
Only in superliterate and bookish Kerala would a historian be invited to make the inaugural address for innovative entrepreneurs. I'm very honored to be asked here, and it's a wonderful tribute to the bookishness and the literary abilities of Kerala that you would ask someone like me to do this. My book, The Golden Road, is a story of your predecessors, the extraordinary entrepreneurs and merchants who led the expansion of Indian soft power over the globe from around 250 BCE. Today, we often think of business and culture under two very different headings, maybe also business, culture, and religion. But one of the surprises about ancient Indian history, particularly about the spread of India's most successful export in antiquity, which perhaps surprisingly I would argue is Buddhism, the Indian idea which ignited the whole of the rest of Asia, from China through Japan, Korea, Mongolia, Siberia, as well as the whole of Southeast Asia and Sri Lanka. And what you find when you look at the detail of the early Buddhist monasteries being built in India and then along the trade routes into Central Asia is that it is the merchants and the entrepreneurs, your predecessors, doing exactly what you're doing today, blazing a trail outside India for Indian exports, who are the main funders and patrons of the expansion of Indian ideas, or what I call the Indosphere, this whole zone of Asia, which was profoundly influenced by ideas from this country. When you go to the site of Sanchi outside Bhopal, the early site of an early Buddhist university and monastery, you arrive at the gate beside the stupa, and on the gate is an inscription saying this gate was paid for by the ivory workers of Vidisha. This is, if you like, crowdfunding by the craftsmen and the merchants of the community. Go to Pune, to the cave monastery of Kala, and there's another inscription there saying that this excavation into the mountainside was paid for by the merchant community of Sopara, roughly just north of where Bombay is today. And so on and so forth. And this continues if you go to the monasteries in what's now Pakistan, up into Afghanistan, on to Uzbekistan. It is the Indian merchant community that is donating, that is patronizing, which is providing the seed funding for the monasteries, which not only are promoting the philosophy of Buddhism and the ideas of how to avoid suffering, but also are spreading with it Indian literature, Indian languages, Indian scripts, the great epics like the Mahabharata. The very earliest copy of the Mahabharata was found outside a Buddhist monastery in what's now Xinjiang in China, the oldest surviving manuscript of any Mahabharata. And in Kerala in particular, we now have evidence growing every year of the importance of the Keralan and Tamil entrepreneur merchant community, who were the principal trading partners of the Roman Empire. We have complaints coming from the Roman geographer Pliny that the wealth of the Roman Empire was draining into Indian pockets. He calls India the drain of all the precious metals in the world. Why? Because your ancestors used the monsoon winds to sail in just 2 months from Muziris right across the oceans to the Red Sea ports of Myos Hormos and Berenike, which were on the Red Sea coast of Roman Egypt. And the figures that we now have for your forebears' earnings are colossal. A new manuscript has turned up called the Muziris Papyrus, which turned up in Egypt. It's now in Vienna. And that manuscript shows that your ancestors were spectacularly overcharging for pepper, ivory, textiles, silk, and cotton to the enormous drain of wealth from the Roman Empire. And India, as a result of their entrepreneurship, became famous for a symbol of luxury in the Roman Empire. Decadent Roman women, says Pliny, like to wear see-through silk for parties as an expression of their love of luxury, but also their sensuality. This was coming not from China, but was coming through Muziris, through the other ports in Gujarat, and through the mouth of the Indus. There was a famous mistress of Nero who used to cover herself with expensive Indian gems. She was called Lolina Paulina, and she used to cover her hair, her breasts, her body, her shoes, even her arms with diamonds, with onyx, sardonyx, expensive gems from India. And in a nice Punjabi touch, she brought the receipts to parties to show people how expensive these gems were. So your ancestors created a taste for luxury products from India, which enormously enriched this part of the world. And when you look at a map, as I'll show in my main address in half an hour, when you look at a map, you see that there's an enormous concentration of Roman coin hoards discovered in this area. Your ancestors successfully made themselves the principal trading partners of the Roman Empire. One Roman emperor actually tried to close the trade down because it was draining so much gold from the Roman Empire. And in the end, they decided not to close it down because the Roman government was making so much money from the customs. They used to charge a 30% tariff on the Red Sea coast for all luxury imports from Kerala and other parts of India. And that tax on the Red Sea coast is now thought to have produced about a quarter of the total Roman imperial budget. So it's a measure of the massive amount of exports from this coast. After lunch today, I'm going to be visiting the Puttenham excavations, where P.J. Cherian is digging the wharfs and the docks of the old port, which your predecessors from around 100 AD to 200 AD ran this incredible export trade in exactly the same way as you guys are doing now. And I think it would be a wonderful thing if the Keralan entrepreneurs were able to help P.J. Cherian with his excavations, because he is uncovering your history, your predecessors. And I know that he would welcome any help he can, because what he's showing is that Kerala was at the very center of ancient India's trade. And far from being on the periphery, down in the south somewhere, beyond the center, far from Delhi, it was Kerala that was the #1 economic hub of ancient India. And I think it would be a fantastic thing if your members were able in some way to link up with the man who is uncovering this incredible history. Anyway, I will talk more about this in my main address in half an hour, but thank you again for inviting me, and I wish you a very successful conference. Thank you.
Thank you for inaugurating TiEcon 2024. As a token of our love, William Dalrymple, may we present you with a small memento. We invite Rajesh R. Nair, partner Ernst & Young, past president TiE Kerala, to come on stage and present the memento. Thank you, Rajesh. Our next speaker Dr. Sheenu Jhawar, President TiE Rajasthan, Director Apex Hospital Group. She's the founder of India's first clinical governance consulting firm. She's an active TEDx speaker focusing on healthcare, governance, and mental well-being. Over to Dr. Sheenu.
Hello, everybody. William, they have put me after you, and this is absolutely not fair. You're quite the storyteller, and it's going to be difficult to bring the audience back to entrepreneurship today. You've taken us to the excavation site. You've taken us all over the world. You've also shown to us how important Kerala is, and thank you so much for that. It's such a pleasure and honor to be here with all of you. So again, Jacob has invited me, I think, because of the common sectors that we are in, healthcare. Of course, he is into so many more things, which I discovered yesterday, but we have a common thread, and that's healthcare. We run a chain of hospitals. I run a chain of hospitals with my family back in Rajasthan. Very, very happy to be with TiE. And I've been a member with TiE since 2011. And I'm going to link my life's journey with the Mission 2030 and the tagline of TiE Kerala, which is an entrepreneur in every home. So what really is the power of TiE? Is it only to bring in established entrepreneurs into the fold of TiE? Or is it also to build them to contribute to the state's, the country's GDP, economy, and become better individuals and entrepreneurs? And wouldn't you agree with me? So in 2011, when I joined, I was an associate member, and we were running a single hospital. And today, we are running 9 hospitals, and we are the largest private bed provider in this largest state of the country. And to a very great extent, starting as an SME to thinking of being listed in the next 2 years, a very great part of this has come from the networking and the learning which has happened in TiE. When you join TiE, you join it to give back. But little do you know that even though you're wanting to become a net giver, the greatest beneficiary is yourself. Because it is not about what you can sell, it is about the mind shift that happens within yourself, which makes you as a business owner much, much larger in how you deliver and how you work. When we talk about Mission 2030, we are also talking about the government's vision and TiE Kerala's vision to have a very sustainable growth strategy over the next few years. And we all know that the SME sector is really the backbone of any emerging economy. When you look at the data, you find that almost in the emerging markets, 365 to 445 million SMEs are contributing to the GDP. Of this, between 25 to 30 are the formal SMEs. That's it. They are contributing to 40% of the GDP. 55 to 70 are the formal micro organizations. And the rest of them, the bulk of them, are the informal micro organizations. A lot of us in TiE have come from the SME sector and have grown over the years to contribute to our geographical territories. There are 66 chapters all over the world, 3,000 charter members, but the bulk of the TiE membership is formed from the associate membership or the startup vertical, which is the SME sector. Whether it is a Mission 2030, which is the mission of the state government or also of TiE Kerala, or it's a mission of having an entrepreneur in every home, the purpose of TiE has to come together with the state government's mission and contribute to the bandwidth by creating a mission to foster entrepreneurship, not just within the startup vertical, but also within the SME sector of the state. So the most important thing that all of us can do is to understand which quadrant we fall under, and also look at the sectors which contribute to the sectors that we want to promote in the state. I think with Mission 2030, one of the focus sectors is tourism in Kerala, and I think that is something which is again very, very common to the sector that we promote in Rajasthan. And that is how I have a lot of data on what is possible on the backward, the forward, and the cross-integration as to how we can promote this. Even when we talk about the startups, they are solving a problem. On the other hand, when we talk about the SMEs, they have a lot of problems. Is it possible to integrate the verticals of the startups with the SME sector, where the common problems of the SME sector are taken up by the startups? And this can become an aggregator platform to solve the problems, because if you just look at the mammoth job creation which can happen, or the large volume which is as a go-to-market funnel for the startups, a lot of positivity can come out from it. And we need to think about how we can integrate these two verticals to actually leverage the individual powers of each of them to bring forth what we can do for the state instead of looking at them as two separate entities that we need to focus on. I know because I came from the SME sector, and there is a lot of crucial factors that we went through in order to scale. And I think scale is the most important bottleneck that the SME sector faces. TiE is very focused to work with the Sustainable Development Goals, and very interestingly, there are two very specific SDGs, or the Sustainable Development Goals, which focus on the SME sector. One of them talks about decent work and economic growth, and the other talks about responsible consumption and productivity. And we, I think, as TiE, I think it is also our moral responsibility to think about these SDGs, these goals, when we focus our pro bono efforts towards entrepreneurship in the state. Some of the crucial factors that we go through when we look at the SME sector are resilience of the company. I think this sector, and especially the informal micro sector, is so busy with the day-to-day happenings that it's very difficult to take a step back and see how to build a company to face unforeseen circumstances, which is also linked with the response to risk. It's a catch-22 situation. The sector does not want to scale because it has limited bandwidth, and scale comes with a lot of cost and a different mindset, because SMEs are very typically founder-dependent. I'll share a personal example. When we were one hospital large, we faced a far, far greater risk of being wiped out. And we faced it with a union problem. But because at the time we were two hospitals, we could mitigate the risk. And while we were battling with the issue at one hospital, the other hospital provided us with the revenues to tide through the difficult times. And it is never in the bad times that you scale or you think of scaling. It's always in the good times when you're doing well within your industry that you think of how you can increase your business. Sitting back and focusing on the positives when you're doing well cannot take you through to gear up for the difficult times ahead. And every industry, every business, every founder is going to face this at some point or the other, or be on the downward slope. So resilience has to be built when you do not need to be resilient. The response to risk happens when you accelerate and when you scale. Founder dependence is a trap. It is very, very important to get out of the founder dependence and create teams. And creating teams is the biggest problem of all. We all face it. And therefore, skilling becomes very, very important. Now, how is it possible that the startups can actually cater to all of these things? These are real problems. We all say that in the startup world, ideas are a dime a dozen, but it is the execution that makes the startups work really well. If it is possible for us to align from the platform of TiE, the startup world, with these very real case studies from the SME sector, I think we'll be finding a lot of synergy between them. And that would be one thing that perhaps us at TiE can focus on. TiE Rajasthan is very, very keen to take this up, and we are building our energies towards scaling for success for the SME sector. Liaising, networking with the government bodies, and creating in the sector the ability to pivot are other two things that we can focus on. We conduct a lot of master classes for the various programs that we do, whether it is the TiE, the TiE Women, or the TiE University. But also, as a next step forward, I think we need to think about how we can run master classes for the founders of the SME sector. Sometimes taking these people away from their businesses is a bottleneck in itself. Is it possible to take the learning and the knowledge within their offices is also something that we need to think about. In the end, all I'm going to say is that there is a great potential for TiE. There is a great potential for the state governments to come together and see how we can leverage the bandwidths. There is also a very, very great opportunity for all of TiE to come together, because this is not something which only TiE Kerala or TiE Rajasthan need to focus on, but this is a far, far greater picture. There's a far greater contribution that we can do together. And I would also say that while we are going to Bangalore to attend TGS 24, in 2025, Rajasthan will be hosting the TiE Global Summit, and this is going to be one of the key aspects that we would like to focus on there. There's, of course, going to be a big runway, and any kind of a collaboration between our chapters is something that we would love to focus on, and we'd love to do. Thank you very much for having me here, and I also welcome all of you, not just to Bangalore, but also gear up and experience the culture up north and make your way to Rajasthan. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Sheenu. And to present her a memento, may we have on stage A.V. George, past President, TiE Kerala, Chairman, A.V. George Group of Companies. And now to address us, we have C. Balagopal, Founding President, TiE Kerala, and Chairman of KSIDC. He's a former IAS officer, visionary entrepreneur, and mentor. He founded Terimo Penpal Limited. An accomplished author, here we have C. Balagopal.
Thank you, Nisha. Good morning, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I congratulate the organizers for thinking of inviting William Dalrymple to be the chief guest. That was a stroke of genius. We learned of the great role played by Indian entrepreneurs and businessmen in promoting trade in the ancient world. And Muziris, the great port of antiquity, was not very far from here. What a great way to start this convention. The theme of TiEcon 2024 is Mission 2030, Transforming Kerala. How much time do we spend thinking about the future? Let's therefore just take a quick look into the future as I see it. Doing this exercise is instructive. If we look at the figures for the gross state domestic product of Kerala over the last 2-3 decades, in the year 2000, it was 77,000 crores. In the year 2023, it reached 11 lakh crores. During this time, at 4 different, at regular intervals of 6 to 7 years, the nominal gross state domestic product of Kerala was doubling every 6 to 7 years. So why I said that is, if you just take the trend of the last 24 years and extrapolate it to the next few years, the economy of Kerala will double again by 2030 or 2032. Now, what does this mean for us and our businesses? Put another way, we will have to deal with another Kerala by 2032. How many of us are thinking of it like that? We are all thinking, will I get enough demand for my product? How will I sell this product? We are really lost in the worries of today, which is natural. But how many of us are thinking, how do we deal with another Kerala by 2032? If I'm in the construction business, if I'm in the real estate business, how will I deal with a market which demands and will have? See, the important thing is, let's understand, if I don't supply it, somebody else is going to supply it. If I'm in the tourism and hospitality business, the demand for hotel rooms and tourism experiences and everything is going to double. So it is not a question of if I don't do it, nothing will happen. No, if I don't do it, somebody else is going to do it. So I think business is here. We must wake up, get out of this obsession with the minor troubles and problems of the present and start thinking about this future which is not going to wait for us, which is going to happen, which doesn't depend on any government's policies, which doesn't depend on this or that happening. Once an economic engine develops a certain momentum of its own, it goes on regardless. And our only choice is whether we want to be part of it or we don't, or we want to miss out on it. So I think it's very interesting exercise if each of us creates a small unit, or at least puts one smart young person, preferably young person, in our organizations in charge of this, saying, how does my company deal with this another Kerala which is going to come into existence? And this, it will apply to any state, it will apply to the country. I'll just very quickly go through because I think we are running out of time. So, most of the problems which we are worried about today are going to sort of, not that they will magically go away. Somebody will solve them. They will get solved. So whether it is the difficult state of public finances of Kerala, which actually is not too different from about half the states of the rest of the country. It's nothing unique to this state. But when an economy grows, and when per capita GDP rises, and when consumption spending rises, tax revenues become buoyant, and the public finances of states and the country changes. So we don't factor all that into account, and we still think of the present situation, and we just extrapolate it like that into the future, and that's the mistake we make. The future is not like the present. All you have to do is think about what 2024 is and what was 2000 like. What were our preoccupations in 2000? What were our preoccupations or concerns in 2010 like? They're very different from what they are today, isn't it? So when we extrapolate it, we are stepping into unknown territory. I will end with this. My advice, my suggestion, who am I to advise? My suggestion, don't waste time listening to those who complain. Spend time with those who try out new ideas. Don't worry about failing. Those who never fail are those who have never tried. Let's join together to change the narrative about Kerala and India. If we envisage a bright future and a prosperous state, that is what we will get. Each of us must become ambassadors for the state, telling investors about why they should come to India and to Kerala. Now, just recently, just look at it. How many things are changing here? I just got a YouTube message, a message this morning on social media that the next edition of an event called KTX, I don't know how many of you know about this event called KTX in Kozhikode. The first event was held last year. The next event is going to happen in February 2024. It's a technology exhibition in Kozhikode. And the scale of it has blown me away. And they are saying that the second edition is going to be even bigger than the first one. And many of us here in Kochi probably wouldn't have heard of this event. The KTM, the Kerala Travel Mart, which happens, and I think it is into its, I don't know how many editions it has already gone through. It has now become a must-attend part of the calendar of anybody in the travel, tourism, and hospitality business anywhere in the world. This is an event which happens here in Kochi. Just a couple of days ago, Huddle has just completed one more edition in Trivandrum, in Kovalam actually. And those who attended it will know that there is no event like that anywhere in India, in terms of the energy, the buzz which happens there. These have all become regular features. So Kerala now is no longer to be viewed as most of us continue to view it as a small part in a distant corner of a huge country. That's not what we are. But it is a thriving economy, which is, when you look at it from the point of international air routes, international sea routes, and international trade routes, we are right on those international trade routes. And this state, as William Dalrymple has pointed out, and as I look forward to reading in his book also, and about the great work done by Professor Cherian in the excavation of the buried town of port of Pattanam, it had a thriving economy 2,000 years ago, and the port of Muziris was one of the greatest ports of antiquity. So I think we here, entrepreneurship is not a new idea. As William Dalrymple has reminded us, our forebears opened up trade routes to take the produce of this place to distant quarters of the globe. They opened up trade routes, something for which they have been given very little credit by historians, and William Dalrymple has come along to set that right. And I hope more scholarship happens among the business community and historians also. So we are actually inheritors we have to live up to something huge, Our forebears did all that. And so I think if you look at the experience, the information of the data about the economy in the last 20, 25 years itself of Kerala, there are signs to be very positive, very hopeful. And I think all of you entrepreneurs who are part of the entrepreneurial community of Kerala should really be spending your time thinking about how your businesses are going to become part of this new Kerala which is coming up, which is this additional Kerala which is going to be created in the next 6 to 8 years, and the enormous possibilities that it opens up. Thank you for giving me this opportunity, and I wish this convention all success. Thank you.
Thank you, C. Balagopal. To present him a token of appreciation, may we have on stage Jose Dominic, co-founder CGH Earth and past president TiE Kerala. Thank you, Jose Dominic. The last speaker of the inaugural session is Vijay Menon, Executive Director, TiE Global. He has led initiatives to support entrepreneurship across 60 chapters in 14 countries since 2016. Over to you, Vijay, sir.
Thank you. A warm welcome to all of you here. As a Malayali, it's always wonderful to come back here to Kerala and to be part of any convention or any event in Kerala. I've been in this role for now 8 years plus as Executive Director of TiE Global. One thing that strikes me about TiE Kerala is that everybody from the first president to the current president is involved in everything that happens in this chapter. And that's very, very unique. We don't see that in too many of our other chapters. So big hand to all of you. I think it's so wonderful to see all of you here, all involved, taking this chapter to the next level. And I guess that's why this chapter has been so impactful over the last 22 years. Entrepreneurship, for those of you who are in it, will know it's a very, very lonely journey. I've been an entrepreneur. It's a very, very lonely journey where you're not part of a big corporate where somebody is helping you with, your HR, or somebody is helping you with your finances and so on and so forth. And that's where an organization like TiE comes in. Because there are many people in this room who are going through the same journey, and they can be your sounding boards. Whether it's the mentors who've been there and been successful, or your colleagues in entrepreneurship who are going through the journey at this point in time. So please take advantage of an organization like TiE, which can really help you, a community that's there to help you. It's so wonderful to hear the past, and William, you really brought out the fact that our forefathers went all over the world and traded and were entrepreneurs. And I guess that's why most of the religions that came to India came through Kerala, actually. If you look at Islam or Christianity, we had even one of Jesus' disciples coming here, St. Thomas in those days. So in that sense, Kerala has always been a very outward-looking state. All of us have gone and been successful in various parts of the world. But what really struck me is the goals that you set yourself and the areas of focus. What I'm also kind of seeing is there's technology coming into each of these areas. I was blown away by Roche's AI solution that they have for the automobile. In San Francisco, we actually have way more taxis now, which you can hail. And I just made a video about 2 weeks ago where I got very excited sitting in a taxi without a driver. But looks like I can do the same thing in Cochin. So that's just fantastic to hear and to experience. Tourism, for instance, everybody can't come and see the beauty of Kerala. But I'm sure with technology, with AI, with ML, and so on and so forth, we could have people all over the world experiencing Kerala. So I think technology is going to come into every field that we are focusing on, and I'm hoping that many of you here who are entrepreneurs are going to take advantage of that opportunity, right? Imagine somebody sitting in Brazil wearing wearing some kind of a glasses and floating down Vembanad Lake. I think it's going to happen, right? And I'm sure many of you are going to make that happen. Thank you all for having me here. I want to invite every one of you to come to the TiE Global Summit in Bangalore next week. It's from the 9th to the 12th. We have a lot of stuff going on there for entrepreneurs. Next year, of course, it's going to be in Rajasthan, and inshallah, we'll bring it to Cochin sometime soon. So look forward to that day, and would love to come back here and be part of TGS here in Cochin. But for now, all the best to TiEcon Kerala. Thank you, and best wishes to the conference.
Thank you, Mr. Vijay Menon. We would like to express our gratitude to you by presenting a memento. Can I have Mr. John Paul, whole-time Director of Popular Vehicles and Services and past President, Kerala. TiEcon.
Thank you, John Paul. That concludes the inaugural session of TiEcon 2024. I kindly request William Dalrymple to remain on stage while all other dignitaries go to the audience.